In 2008, Californians were sold a dream, a bullet train. San Francisco to Los Angeles, in under 3 hours. No traffic, no airport security, just speed. Europe had already built it. Japan had perfected it. China was expanding it at record pace. California was supposed to be next. 16 years later, what exists today are concrete pillars, standing alone in empty farmland, tracks that don't connect cities, stations with no trains. The original price tag? $33 billion. Today's estimate? $128 billion, and still rising. This is the story of how the United States spent over $100 billion on a high-speed rail system that doesn't actually go anywhere. Back in November of 2008, voters approved Proposition 1A. The campaign promised a lot. A true high-speed rail system. Trains traveling at 220 miles per hour. San Francisco to Los Angeles in 2 hours and 40 minutes. No operating subsidies. Lower carbon emissions. Less traffic. Hundreds of thousands of jobs. And a total cost of around $33 billion. Supporters called it transformative. Critics called it risky, but the ballot language was clear. Californians were told this project was realistic, affordable, and fully planned. What voters didn't know was that the number on the ballot was never a final number. It was a political number. On a map, California looks ideal for high-speed rail. Long, wide, mostly flat. But maps don't show elevation. They don't show geology. And they don't show fault lines. Between Northern and Southern California stands one massive obstacle, the Tehachapi Mountains. High-speed trains can't climb steep slopes. They can't take sharp turns. And they absolutely don't like earthquakes. To cross the mountains, engineers had one choice. Tunnels. A lot of tunnels. Miles and miles of them. Through solid rock. Through unstable geology. Through active seismic zones. Some tunnels would stretch for several miles. Each one required years of surveys. Custom tunnel boring machines. Earthquake-resistant reinforcement. Every mistake cost millions. Every delay cost more. Suddenly, the $33 billion estimate wasn't just optimistic. It was fantasy. But engineering challenges were only half the problem. The other half was California itself. To build the rail line, the state needed thousands of land parcels. From farmers, from homeowners, from businesses, from protected land. And California has some of the strongest environmental and property protections in the world. Land acquisition turned into a legal war. Property owners challenged valuations. Environmental groups challenged routes. Cities demanded redesigns. Each lawsuit meant construction stopped. Each delay meant costs increased. Labor became more expensive. Materials became more expensive. Inflation did the rest. Projects that should have taken months took years. Years turned into decades. And the longer the project dragged on, the more expensive it became. By the time serious construction began, the original budget was already gone. Today, California high-speed rail costs over $100 million per mile. In some sections, far more than that. Now compare this globally. France builds high-speed rail for roughly half the cost. Japan, one of the most expensive builders, still delivers finished systems. China builds entire networks for a fraction of the price and finishes them in record time. The technology isn't the issue. The difference is execution. Other countries follow a simple formula. They secure land first. They finalize designs early. They fund the project fully. They build continuously. California did the opposite. Construction began before final designs were complete. Routes were changed mid-project. Federal funding was lost and regained. Budgets were rewritten again and again. And instead of connecting major cities first, California started in the middle, the Central Valley. Why? Because it was politically easier. Land was cheaper. Opposition was lower. But this decision created a massive problem. The state built the middle of a system that connects to nothing. No San Francisco, no Los Angeles, just isolated tracks in farmland. A high-speed rail line with no high-speed destination. That's why critics call it the train to nowhere. Today, billions have already been spent. The structures exist. The pillars stand. The tracks are being laid. But the funding to finish the full route is uncertain. There is no fixed completion date. No guaranteed budget, and no clear path forward. Supporters argue the project is too big to abandon, that stopping now would waste everything already spent. Critics argue the opposite, that continuing only throws more money into a broken system. And taxpayers? They're stuck in the middle. High-speed rail itself isn't the failure. The rest of the world proves it works. The failure is how America builds infrastructure. Slow approvals, endless lawsuits, political compromises, and costs that spiral out of control. So here's the real question. Is California high-speed rail a temporary setback, or proof that the United States can no longer build megaprojects? Will this train ever reach Los Angeles, or will it remain a monument to good intentions and bad execution?